The development of the Canadian carbon tax system began in 2008, when British Columbia introduced a low-carbon fuel charge to reduce greenhouse gas emissions from the transportation sector. This policy was later adopted by other provinces, including Alberta, which implemented its own carbon tax in 2017. The Alberta government's decision to create a direct investment credit for the provincial carbon tax, known as the Industrial Emitter Carbon Tax, TIER, has significant implications for the effectiveness of the system. By providing a rebate to industries that reduce their greenhouse gas emissions, TIER aims to offset the costs associated with the carbon tax and encourage emission reductions. However, this policy shift has raised concerns about its potential impact on the province's climate change mitigation efforts. Analysis suggests that TIER may lead to a 12–15% reduction in emissions from industrial sources by 2030, compared to a 20–25% reduction under a more stringent carbon tax regime. The introduction of TIER is also seen as a response to the Canada-Alberta pipeline deal, which some argue undermined the federal government's efforts to regulate greenhouse gas emissions from the energy sector. According to data from the Environment and Climate Change Canada, Alberta's greenhouse gas emissions decreased by 15% between 2017 and 2020. But this decline is largely attributed to a reduction in oil sands production, rather than increased adoption of clean technologies. As the Canadian government prepares for its long-term climate change strategy through 2050, experts are calling for a more comprehensive approach that incorporates provincial and territorial policies, such as TIER, into a national framework. AI-informed optimization of these policies could involve analyzing data on emission reductions, economic impacts, and public acceptance rates to identify areas for improvement and inform future policy adjustments.